Live from Asteroid M, floating somewhere in the timeline, it's the Geek Show.
I'm trying to read my news here, but I think my false eyelashes are in the way.
Oh,
Bleach, blonde, bad built butch body.
That's me. Start the show. Hi, everyone.
hello.
I have to say that super slow because it's a tongue twister.
It is. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
The Utah Frost is here. Rebecca Frost.
Hockey, hockey, hockey.
Yeah,
Love
thanks
those
for
Z's
raising
in
my
there.
taxes downtown, Utah.
Oh,
Frost.
please.
You're welcome.
And this is my argument. It should be the Salt Lake Frost because we're paying for it. All right.
Yep.
The unhoused, forget about them. I'm here for sports.
I need a helipad. Anyway. All right. Rebecca Frost is here. Vic Frankelstein is here.
It's
Franklinstein.
Franklinstein.
Frankenstein.
Sorry.
Yes. We don't discuss Franklinstein.
Not in this house.
That's the monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Speaking
I'm
of the
here.
monster, Quad T is here.
Oh,
Oh, he's the Sasquatch.
Oh
I'm
my
writing
God.
I'm writing a script for Tony called President Sasquatch.
I'm in 100%.
It's a political thriller, political thriller
Does he get to fight the $6 million man?
with no dialogue. It's just
It's perfect for me.
yeah, a lot of
Perfect.
walking and staring into the camera. And anyway, and here he is, Robert, straight from Bmore. They keep making progress on that bridge in Baltimore. don't
did
they?
you hear
Damnedest
they
thing.
haven't left the people off the ship?
Well, I mean,
Because if they
to be
don't
fair,
have visas or something?
I mean, well,
It's
not
a-
to be fair. To be
it's a
honest, I mean, they're
combination
on the
of
ship.
things.
They're on those ships for months on end, or weeks and months on end anyway. So it's not like they're like, "What are we going to do?"
Yeah.
Just
It's
more
a
ping pong.
combination of citizenship and keeping the ship running. So
They
yeah.
make the ship go.
They're bringing him food and such.
Robert Neal, everybody. All right.
And
Our host.
Carrie Jackson.
Hi. If I'm not at top form, it's because I spent the night on the bathroom floor, just so you know.
Blech.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was like, boy, this is bad. It must be really bad for Lee.
I didn't spend the night on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
He just went to the hospital.
Well, and it's just, it's unfortunate I have to start the show with a huge tragedy.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Chuck E. Cheese pulling the plug on Munch's Make-Believe Band.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
After all the success of
That
Five
thing's-
Nights at Freddy's, they can't make this work?
I thought
thing's
they had
been go-
already. I thought they had already gotten rid of all the animatronics.
That thing's been going since I was 10.
They were
And you're like 100 years old.
Yes.
They were phasing them out slowly, Rebecca, but now they've decided they're only going to
Because-
there's only going to be 2 left in the world.
Because I remember reading about how they were instructed to literally take the animatronics out back and destroy them.
Well, because AI brings back the pizza. And there's a reason why Showbiz Pizza, the one with Billy Bob, the superior animatronic
Yes.
pizza jamboree.
Thank you.
That was phased out right after T2 was launched because they knew it was coming.
Yes.
I like this picture. It's got real Fleetwood Mac vibes. I
Yeah.
can't explain it.
Oh, you can
know-
tell. There's a
you
lot
know
going on there.
You know,
Has
those two are
anybody gotten a
stupid.
quote from Nolan Bushnell yet? Since this was his baby.
Let's see. The chains more than all but 2 of the chain's 400 locations in the U.S. will get rid of the bands. You can still see them in L.A. and Nanuet, New York.
Oh,
Those are the only 2 that will exist.
They couldn't
Yeah.
straighten that mustache before the picture? Come on. Look
No,
at that thing.
no, that's
I
it's,
mean,
Mamma mia.
Mamma
stereo-
mia.
that's stereotypically accurate.
Crooked
Yeah.
Italian mustaches.
Let me read this to you from IO9. You have until the end of 2024 to hear the sweet melodies of Chuck E. Cheese and Helen Henney on vocals, the bouncy keyboards of Mr. Munch, Jasper T. Jowell's epic guitar riffs, and the rhythmic beats of Pasquale on the drums.
I think I'm good.
Did you not know their names?
Did you know that the lead singer of the band Bowling for Soup became the vocalist for Chuck E. Cheese.
And he still is?
Not for
In
much longer.
2012, Jarrett is his name, was chosen by Chuck E. Cheese's to be the new voice for their mascot, Chuck E. Cheese, as part of a revamp for the company. He replaced previous longtime voice actor Duncan Brannon.
This is what happens when your band Bowling for Soup has one song.
1985.
I like Hooray for Beer.
Yeah.
So
Which
there you
you
go.
can't get at Chuck E. Cheese anyway. So
Wow.
You know,
Well,
it's-
I've been to both L.A. and Nanuet, and I've never been to either of those Chuck E. Cheeses. I'm trying
Oh.
to think of my next work trip to Connecticut if I can squeeze in a
Oh,
last-minute run.
Don't force it, Rob. It's okay.
Oh no! I mean, it's
like a
not that far
pilgrimage.
from the office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go and
If you
stand
want.
down front and, give him some of these and
just body check them.
just start shouting free bird,
Holding up a lighter.
Anyway. So I'm sorry to start the show off on a bummer like that, but I don't
We'll be
understand.
okay.
I don't understand why they're doing this because it's not like people are going to Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza. It's
Oh, yeah, you can DoorDash it now.
It's for the ball pit, obviously.
it's the ball pit.
In the games.
I think it's so you can go somewhere and ignore your children for 2 hours.
Wait,
We
that
can
anywhere.
do that at home.
Oh, no, see now Eric in the chat room says if you see Pasquale's Pizza on DoorDash, that's Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Why do you hate
Ghost
yourself?
Kitchen.
Why would you purposefully order Chuck E. Cheese
I mean-
pizza when you're not at Chuck E. Cheese?
I mean, if you want lousy pizza, there's plenty of that on DoorDash.
Plenty. All right, let's get to the trailers. We had quite a few drop. Dune Prophecy.
Oh.
Dun dun
I
dun.
watched this.
No, oh my
trailer.
God, what is
That's-
happening?
That's the
yes,
wrong
that's
Dune.
this one.
Okay.
That's this one. Oh,
All
God.
that's all meat.
It's is it?
Meat dress.
I thought it was the painting of King Charles.
Charles.
Oh,
Yeah, all
Charles Lee.
red, except no blood on his hands at all, if you noticed.
Yeah.
It's everywhere else.
So this is the prequel inspired by the events in Sisterhood of Dune. So it's 10,000 years before the events in the movies or the Dune novels. Valia and Tula Harkonnen.
Ah,
And
What?
it's the formation of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
what I like here is how they're showing a realistic depiction of anyone shooting a scene with Tom Cruise in a movie.
Yeah, got him.
Got him. Oh my gosh.
That's look at that.
Shot fired.
All right. 6-episode miniseries starts on Max this fall.
I'm ready.
I'm excited for this.
Go and watch that if you want to. Maybe we'll watch it in the after party. We'll see. Speaking of Dune, part 2 worms its way onto Max next week.
Don't do that.
No, that was a great joke. I approve. 10 of 10.
May 21st is when it'll be on Max, so you can watch it then.
Lisan Al Gaib, etc., etc.
All that.
Lisa Al-Gaib!
Let's see. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Season 2 released a trailer this week as well.
One out of 5 panelists is excited.
Yep.
wait.
You'll never guess which one.
Back to real quick. Back to the Lisa Al-Gaib thing. Have you heard the supercut of the what's his name?
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem saying Lisa Al-Gaib.
No, I mean that's just Dune 2.
It's just him saying it over and over and over from the movie like 12, 15 times. It's
Oh.
great.
Well, the show will return on August 2nd, and it's the continuing rise of Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is him, so they say.
Sauron
He started
has,
off as an elf.
I thought he was just an eye.
Sauron's a deceiver. He can take many forms.
Sauron has returned, cast out Galadriel without army or ally, and the Dark Lord must now rely on his own cunning to rebuild his strength.
Nice. I'm so excited.
Go watch that trailer.
Suck at everyone else who doesn't like it.
Happy for you, Lee.
Well, here's
Thanks.
another one that may be a Lee thing. House of Dragons Season 2? No? Okay.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I got bored the
Do you
first
see?
season.
Do you see how I got confused with like the order of these images because they all look like they could be from the same
Well,
show?
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
That's true.
So it gets underway June 19th, returns for 8 episodes, and it is based upon Fire and Blood, the George Martin book.
I just want to know where they keep finding all these pasty white people.
Oh,
England.
They're everywhere.
Sandy,
There's dozens of us.
Draper.
All over the place.
And then the other...
I see them all the time. I don't know where you're missing them.
And then the final trailer that was released this week was a bit of a head scratcher. Megalopolis.
This movie, I'm so excited for. It is getting such horrible reactions. It just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival, and everyone is like, Francis Ford Coppola, what are you doing?
Oh, really?
What is he doing?
Yeah.
He sold his winery to make this movie.
He funded this $120 million movie to make it himself because nobody would help him make it. And he's been working on this script for like 40 to 44 years. And apparently it is a huge mess.
There is a European distributor and a U.S. distributor now. This was just announced that a global IMAX release here
I'm
in America
the U.S. distributor.
is how we're going to do it.
Brought to you by Lee.
No,
Now-
I'm writing each and every reel individually to the theaters in my bicycle.
Now, the trailer was interesting. They released earlier from this just a minute and a half of the movie, which was Adam Driver up on top of the Chrysler Building in New York. And he walks towards the edge, steps off, and then yells, "Time, stop." And everything stops, including him from falling. And then he's able to walk himself back, snap his finger, and everything starts up again. That was all they released, and now they've released a trailer. So go in there with, I guess, an open mind and take a look.
I saw apparently they just like studios have they don't want to distribute this because they have no idea how to market it. And so Film Twitter was like, you just say it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola. That's all you have to say. And like that's not going to appeal to the wider audience.
No. How about he sold his winery to make this movie?
Well, what you say is,
It's a passion project.
from the same mindset as Sony's Spider-Verse, come watch it because you know it'll suck. And then people will
Apparently-
come and watch it, and maybe it won't suck, and they'll be surprised.
So you're
Apparently,
hoping for
though, there's a scene where a man comes on the stage, physically comes on the stage and talks to Adam Driver at the screen.
what?
Yeah.
Dying to know how they're going to do that in a wide release.
Yeah.
Especially
It's-
being that I have to be at every theater now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so go watch it. You decide. We don't have a release date yet. Just it'll be an IMAX in America eventually. All right.
How do they handle home release when you have a whole bit of the movie where a guy comes out on stage and says something?
It's expensive.
Actors.
see. You look at
Local
Gremlins.
actors.
Gremlins 2. They cut their own special video release because in the theater it was Hulk Hogan up in the projection booth fighting off Gremlins, but then they cut a special scene that removed the projectionist just for video. Oh. So maybe you do that.
Interesting.
Also, they could just pan the camera out so
Or
it
that.
looks like you're in a movie theater and someone walks in from the
I
side.
mean, if Coppola had ever made a good movie, I'd be excited.
Yeah.
Man, you're just firing away today.
I'll say.
If only he had a good track record.
Well, I mean, there's some good news. Dustin Hoffman's in this. I haven't seen him in a while. The bad news is John Voight's in it as well. So
Aubrey Plaza is in it and playing a character named Platinum Wow.
okay.
Are we sure this is not a Zack
Parody?
Snyder movie? Or-
Platinum Wow versus Atomic Blonde.
yeah.
All right, let's get to some housekeeping. Of course, Lee, fresh from the hospital. Tell us about your lung, Lee.
I guess it wasn't working for a while, and I didn't know it.
And that'll contribute to you not feeling especially well.
It filled up. I think their exact words were, "It filled up with gunk and collapsed. How do you feel now?" And then they showed me what was in my lung, and I said, "Well, there's a color of food I'm never eating again." And then, yeah. So
How did they
that
get
was
it out? Just like vacuum it out, or
well. So what they do is they have you sit up on the edge of your bed, and then they have you lean over a table, and then they take an ultrasound machine so that they don't jab you in the rib, and they stick a needle about this long between your rib cage into your lung, and then they plunger it out. And
No
they,
thanks.
cool, so
I'll just die.
so
die. Thanks.
I had 1 3/4 liters of chicken soup in my left
Holy
lung.
cow.
That's like
Yeah.
That's nearly a big bottle of Mountain Dew,
Dude,
Tony.
that's almost a full 2-liter Dew.
Oh,
Do
I
you
know.
feel better now, though?
It took 2 days for my lung to fully inflate and start operating again. Yeah. So that was about last night at 9 o'clock. I went, "Whoa, oxygen!"
Oh my gosh, I can breathe.
As you can see, Lee could use your help financially. So there's the Venmo. The money goes directly to the Cade family to pay for the bills. There's no middleman, nobody taking any off the top. It goes right toward this good cause of keeping Lee George Cade out of the hospital, finally.
But on the plus side, all of my medical bills have officially contributed to one new parking space at the Intermountain Medical Center in Murray.
Is it reserved?
I think Rebecca parked in it yesterday.
I was there and I messaged Lee and I was like, hey, I'm at Tower 2. I'm just wondering if you could tell me where the cafeteria is because I'm sure you're familiar. And he's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm just here to make sure my mother-in-law doesn't talk about Vietnam.
Okay.
That was your
story
job
there.
yesterday.
If you've watched the TED series, the joke is very funny.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it. TED season 2. TED season 2 is coming for us, Rebecca.
I know.
The good news is my staples are now out.
Oh, really?
So when I cough, I don't cry a little.
Huzzah!
I do.
And I sneezed. I had my first official sneeze 20 minutes after the staples came out, which was great.
Ow.
No, Brett, that doesn't count as food chat. I'm sorry.
We'll get to
Oh,
that
Sorry,
later.
Brett. We'll get
It
there.
does. It does if you add the right vegetables.
Oh,
I don't like this.
I'm not
me neither.
puke.
Me neither.
I need an adult.
Let's go to geekshow.store. That's where all of our clothing and everything is. We love to see our logo out in the wild. We love seeing you wearing it and enjoying it. It's particularly a good-looking logo, approved by Derek Hunter, who designed the original logo. He said you did a fine job, Lee.
Aw.
Yeah. So geekshow.store. And then don't forget our Patreon. Tony promises me that this week some of my videos are going to be...
Ba-ba-da-ba.
there's
See,
one.
right there. Yeah.
Oh, I made that one a while ago. Good heaven. How many do we have in the bank?
4. Well, 3
Okay.
now since that one's up.
All right. That's the Mystic Seer, the most expensive napkin dispenser that you'll ever discover.
Yeah,
it
but it
worth
makes
it?
you think of cool hot Shatner every time you use it.
Cool Hot Shatner every time. All right. So that's geekshowgotthiscovered.com is the link to our Patreon. Subscribe and help the show, and you get the after party, and you get videos from my time closet, and you get the Space Show early, and all that good stuff. All right. Back to the news.
I don't know how to feel about this story.
I don't either.
I feel like this has been news for a while.
Well, it's finally been approved.
Officialized.
Because Sony has been, ever since Madam Web, they're like, what do we do with our spider people? And so they decided,
Give them to Marvel. They're the only ones that know what to do with it, you dummies.
boy, I'll tell you, when
Got
we
'em
get
again, Lee.
when we get to things that we consume later, I'll let you know how I feel about that. But they're going to do a Spider-Man noir live action series with Nicolas Cage.
That's why I'm not sure about this.
I don't think it's going to be him in the suit. I think it's going to be a Mandalorian situation.
They'll Pascal maneuver it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was looking for like Parker for hire, and it'd be like great, fighting crime in the big city.
Noir tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator. That's Nick Cage in the 30s.
I'm glad they said aging.
Yeah, in New York. Forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. There's quite a pedigree of the people who are creating it. So you got Steve Lightfoot from The Punisher. You got people from Fleabag and Killing Eve. You got Phil Lord, Chris Miller, Amy Pascal also producing.
You're making
Wow.
me interested in it, Carrie.
I know, right?
But at
So-
any point, is Nicolas Cage going to stop and yell, "My testicles"?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Now, I would suggest that you go to your comic book store and ask them for the Spider-Man Noir graphic novels. Those first 2 I thought were quite good. And if they do that with this, I think we're going to be all right. Of course, with Cage, you're going to have the humor in there.
Intentional or not.
Intentional or not, exactly. And because of that, we said yes to Spider-Man Noir and goodbye to Silk.
No.
Yeah,
Because women can't have nice things.
see,
You
this
think
is
this was going to be nice?
yeah.
listen.
Well,
This was supposed to be-
Amazon
this
series,
was-
wasn't it?
Yes, and this was supposed to be like multiple Spider Women.
Oh, is
Yes.
it separate from the Sony Spider-Verse?
No.
Well, then.
No. Here's the thing. When all 3 of those women are in costume and on the screen, I could not look away. It was amazing.
for 10 seconds.
But
The
that's
whole
the problem. That was the problem. Anyway, we'll get to that coming up later. But yeah, they pulled the plug on Spider Society. It was going to be a live action, and it was Angela Kang from The Walking Dead. She was behind it.
Man.
And, they just they said, nope, sorry, bye. So you're not getting that. All right, but we did get, speaking of Marvel, whoever's doing the Agatha series social media,
So
they're pretty tricky.
can I talk about this really quick? So Marvel Studios tweeted this picture on the 13th, Agatha the Lying Witch with the Great Wardrobe. And then
Which-
this
Yeah, I love that title.
but then this comment from Asad Ayaz, who is the chief brand officer and VP of marketing over at Disney, tweeted this in response. and then Marvel Studios deleted it and then released this video. Which showed all of the other previous titles.
Darkhold Diaries. There's
So I think they were leaning into that being like a goof and being like, oh, isn't this silly? Isn't Agatha so silly about how she's constantly messing things up? And that's when they officially announced Agatha All Along.
and it was Agatha all along. So let's see. Do we have a date? Oh, September 18 on Disney Plus is when that will-
Two episodes at once.
And Rebecca, didn't we know that they announced this on the light date of the last Salem witch trial?
Oh, I don't know.
Did they?
Really?
Oh, that's great timing.
Maybe a little insensitive. I mean,
And it could be, yeah.
Yeah, like joking about the Lincoln assassination. It's
Hey,
too
here's-
soon.
That
Here's
just
our-
barely
yeah, but I
became
mean-
funny again.
we're gonna publicize our wacky witch show on a day where people actually were murdered for witchcraft.
They have done far worse.
I know.
Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
On the
see.
scale, this is fairly low.
Let's see.
I'm sensitive.
a movie that people of a certain age will appreciate. Barbarella,
Jesus Christ.
Jane Fonda,
I didn't care about this until they said it was her. And I was
Sydney Sweeney.
okay, maybe.
Boobies.
But it's well, that's what Barbarella is, I'm afraid. Yeah, Edgar Wright is in
Barbarella.
talks to direct Sydney Sweeney in Barbarella. And she had a quote here saying that look, I did Madam Web so I could get the rights to this.
Oh,
Good for her.
really?
Good for her.
Interesting.
So maybe
So she's excited for it.
yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
I read a blind item, so take it with a grain of salt, that Jane Fonda is not super thrilled about this remake.
Yeah, she'll be dead soon.
Who cares?
Wow.
She's fine.
Wait,
She's
I thought
just
you were a
fine.
sensitive one, Lee. Wait a minute.
Only
Well,
about witches.
That chicken soup in his lung was holding all of his empathy.
Really
guess.
just throwing everything out of whack.
Oh, did I say that? Did I say Jane Fonda will be dead soon? No, I said wed soon. She's looking forward to her new nuptials.
This is this
In
is
hell,
down
when she dies.
this is down the road a piece, so you're not
hell.
wrong, Lee, because he's got to do the Running Man for Paramount before he
Oh
does
my
this.
God, an Edgar Wright Burning Man movie.
Yeah.
I'm in. I want to see
So are
it.
they going to do the most horrible or awesome, depending on your point of view, in joke, and have either John Taylor or Simon Le Bon as Duran Duran in this movie?
They
The
need
band?
to yes.
Well, the band name came from Barbarella. There was a
hell yeah.
evil
Exactly, yeah.
scientist named Dr. Duran Duran.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
then they definitely need Simon Bond to play it.
Yep.
Simon Le Bon. This I look forward to Robert's speculation about the casting for this here. The Fantastic Four movie just keeps getting better and better as far as cast goes. Natasha Lyonne is now in the Fantastic Four.
She's pretty.
Dr.
Funny.
Doom.
She can be both, Lee. She is both.
No, I said she's pretty. Funny.
and
Yeah.
funny. Girl, comma in there.
But Robert had a theory.
I do. And I'm hoping that she's Roberta, their robotic receptionist,
That'd be
because it would just be fun.
So she's lady from the waist up and robot from
Robot
the
from the waist
waist
down.
down.
Some people are into that.
Some people pay extra for that.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, special effects. It's very expensive.
Yeah, my first thought was that she might be
right.
Alicia Masters. I'm like, no, that just
I
doesn't
thought
seem to
that
fit.
too. I thought maybe Alicia Masters as well.
She'd
she
be a
still
cool
could be.
Medusa.
Now, another thought, but I think depending on what they do with the character, would be Frankie Ray, who was the second Human Torch on the team and then became Nova, Galactus's herald. And if
Oh,
we're getting Galactus in this movie, that's a possibility.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
That would be interesting.
I want her to be the Yancey Street Gang.
Head of the Yancey Street.
No, just the whole gang. It's just her.
Just one.
Oh, I like
ben,
it.
And Ben Grimm's terrified of her
Yeah.
because she's pretty.
Gutter Puddle says, "Let her be Firestar," one of the other heralds. Is
That'd be cool.
Firestar Herald?
No,
I didn't think so. Yeah.
no, it was Nova. It was Human Torch 2, Nova. There was a
Firestar is,
Stardust. X-Men.
Firestar is Spider-Man and his amazing friends, right?
Wait,
And
she
X-
Oh,
was
she could
in-
be Spider-Man.
How many Novas were in the Marvel Universe?
There's a whole core of them, in fact. But this
They
Nova
were in a
was
movie,
not one of them.
Tony.
What movie?
You know,
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
You didn't
Never
get
heard
the
of
Nova
it.
Corps popcorn bucket?
John C. Reilly was there.
Yeah, he was in the Nova Corps.
Glenn Close was there.
Glenn Close was there.
She was the
I'm
leader
messing
of the
with you
Nova Corps.
guys.
Oh, snap.
I never forget anything with John C. Reilly. He's one of my faves.
I'm Dr. Steve Brule. We got to save the planet.
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Be quiet, you're gonna wake the neighbors.
All right, and this one I thought of Lee immediately with this bit of news. You're gonna like that. I don't know if you've heard about this, Lee. Jim Henson Company
Yeah.
has cast Jeff Bridges as Grendel, Dave,
Yeah.
Dave Bautista as Beowulf, and
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston as King Hrothgar.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
devastated. You didn't say I would also be excited about this.
Yeah,
because
Rebecca's like the world's ultimate Grendel.
Oh, really?
I'm the world's biggest Beowulf fan.
Oh, really?
A couple of weeks ago or months ago, I talked about there is a new translation of Beowulf written by Maria Headley, and I cannot recommend it enough. It was incredible.
How many years ago was that Beowulf film?
Oh, we don't talk about that one.
I remember I saw it. That's
With
all.
hot,
yeah,
hot CGI Angelina Jolie as
That one.
Beowulf's
Weird.
mama.
Weirdly enough, my whole obsession with Beowulf only came about because of the Grendel comic that Matt Wagner did back in the late 80s, early 90s.
That's how I
is
got introduced to it too.
Which
Lee.
is the Grendel property that we really want, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So is this a live action thing or animated or?
Live action with Muppets.
And I want, if they do ever get around to doing a Grendel adaptation, I want the kid that's playing Louis in Interview with a Vampire to play Hunter Rose.
Well, here's for this film: Thomasin Mackenzie as Queen Wealthero.
What?
Aidan
sorry.
Turner.
Oh, Thomasin Mackenzie. She is in Jojo Rabbit and the Soho, Last Night in Soho.
Oh,
Such a good movie.
yeah.
Oh my God.
You got Aidan Turner as Unferth, T-Bone Burnett as the Shaper,
Cool.
director Robert E. Krzyzkowski's
The thing with this,
adaptation of the novel.
should be a series.
Excuse me. Shipwreck Sean says that there's a Grendel episode of Voyager. Can you confirm?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's been so
Probably,
long
you
since I've
guys.
watched Voyager.
It's
When
has
they,
been.
Maybe.
it's when they go to space Sweden to fight a space Grendel.
All right. This one, of course, has the fanboys very, very upset. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, her Tomb Raider series, is a go at Amazon. They've been talking about it for a while,
What's the problem here?
but they gave it a go.
Well, it's
When
not.
see, all they read was the headline. They thought that she was starring as
no,
as
she's
Laura
making
Croft.
it.
She's writing
She's a writer first and foremost.
Yeah.
You clowns, and so of course it'll be amazing.
You
Yeah.
tell him.
Yeah.
It was Tuesday. Was the announcements was made, and it's moving forward. Let's just give the lead role to Haley Atwell and call it a day.
I would.
No, Haley Atwell's too old.
Well,
Apologies.
it depends on which Tomb Raider you're doing. Are you doing the older Lara Croft or the younger Lara Croft?
Yeah,
Listen.
well, yeah.
After everything she did in Mission Impossible and the Captain Carter stuff,
I
I'm
guess
here
that's
for it.
true.
I'm
I
here
guess
for it.
That's true.
And to be, I saw this announcement. I was like, oh, she's just going for all of the adventurer titles. She's what, Helena Shaw in the Indiana Jones movies, and now this. I'm just like, she's just going to take them all.
Fleabag, the adventurer Fleabag.
Yep.
Okay, so Haley Atwell is 42. So if you're going to try to franchise this, and as much as I
Better
just
get moving.
adore her as an actor,
Damn,
I have seen conversation about Melissa Barrera as Lara Croft, who is famously kicked off of the new Scream franchise.
Oh yeah.
Which would make sense because I guess originally Lara Croft was supposed to be Laura Cruz, and so they could lean more into a different ethnicity than
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just use Sydney Sweeney for everything. It's fine.
Sure.
Tony. Your kink is showing.
I mean, literally, I can see it. I wish you'd.
A kid.
I wish you'd cover it up.
third time in 2024 I've had to call Tony's Bishop.
I know, right?
And he'll be like,
Okay.
yeah, Sydney Sweeney should play her.
The Boys season 4 is very, very soon. I don't have a date here, but it's in a few weeks. But Amazon has already confirmed that you're going to get a 5th season, even before of the premiere of season 4.
Wow.
They're that confident in it. And again, I have to remind everyone, Homelander is not the hero.
He's a bad guy.
He's
Posing as a
the
good
villain.
guy. Yeah.
All right.
If Homelander wore diapers, everyone would find ways to just justify it and make it cool.
That's true. And finally, this. And this is just for Tony.
Here we go. Yes.
Carrie
Now
Ann
we are
Moss.
talking.
Carrie Ann Moss is joining FUBAR for season 2, opposite of Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Matrix star will play a former East German spy. Schwarzenegger will face a new foe in the 2nd season. It says here, Carrie Ann Moss joined the action comedy as a former adversary / lover of Schwarzenegger.
Of course. What did you think? Huh?
You know what they should do? Really? They should make a True Lies series with Arnold right now.
Right now?
Right
he's-
now.
Yeah, like he's retired
now.
and trying not to be a spy anymore, and it's just him having all this spy shit happen when he's in his 70s.
And
That's
Jamie
pretty
Lee
much what
Curtis.
FUBAR is, Lee. You haven't watched the show.
That is
Wow.
what the show. That is the
I
show.
didn't. I literally didn't know the show existed until you brought it up just now.
Oh.
What it is it's Arnold and his daughter. He didn't know his daughter was also a spy, so they fight.
Oh,
Yes.
They go in, they fight together, they fight amongst each other sometimes, you know.
Yes.
And like
Lots
a
of-
good neighbor, State Farm is there.
lots
Have you
of
seen his
guns.
commercials?
Has he, has he got for State Farm?
He's got a State
got a-
Farm
yeah.
commercial.
Wasn't that a Super Bowl ad, I think? Or
I don't
yeah.
know.
They did a
It's
series
I
of
saw
the
it
Super Bowl.
yesterday.
it's a whole series.
Yeah. Anyway, so between this and the Acolyte Star Wars series, Carrie Ann Moss is keeping quite busy. The Acolyte on June 4th is when that premieres on your Disney Plus. All
Go
right.
for her.
Yes.
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
You know, I like Fortune Femster on the FUBAR show.
She's funny. She plays
very
one of his
funny.
good friends on his
Yes.
spy team.
She's on the team.
Where does one find this FUBAR
It's
show?
on Netflix.
Netflix. Kind of enjoyable. I was surprised. I didn't think I.
It's an
care for
action
it.
comedy, you know.
Yeah.
And it plays to Schwarzenegger's strengths, and everyone on the show does a good job. It's fun.
Was that a pun? Schwarzenegger's strengths?
Oh, unintentional.
Ew.
I like it though. Thanks for pointing it out.
Happy to help.
All right. What did we consume this week? Who wants to go? Lee wants to go first.
We consumed lung chicken noodle soup.
So this trip to the hospital, the completely unscheduled trip, I decided no, this time I'm not watching sitcoms. I'm gonna watch become a man of culture. So
American Dad. You give American Dad another try.
I did, and guess what, Rebecca? You're gonna be
Still
so
hated it?
excited. I didn't get it.
That's fine.
I'm trying to figure out. I think I have a talking fish and an alien, and
Stop.
think it's-
Don't try.
yeah, trying so hard. I had a whole vision board ready to go, and I was
It's
like,
okay.
I kept pissing off the nurse because I kept getting out of bed to update my vision board. Anyway, I'm really upset because I watched 10 Things I Hate About You, a movie I've never seen before in my life.
Oh, for real?
Really?
Really?
And I'm so mad because Heath Ledger, too soon.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Oh,
was
yeah.
incredible.
I'd see him in Knight's Tale, and of course, the Joker, but this his comedy chops were flawless. He's so good, and the movie's so good, and I was
movie.
so mad. And so then I watched Freaky Friday afterwards, and
The Lindsay Lohan one?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
just on a good movie bender, my
yeah.
man.
It was delightful. I had never seen that, and so I thought, oh, you know what? So let's give another movie a try. So I watched T2 again.
Classic.
You know what? I really do think it's like 30% a fantastic movie.
30?
Really?
Yeah, because the other
Oh.
70% is a stupid kids movie that I hate.
Oh.
I think you have it reversed. It's like 70-30 kids movie.
If you were a kid when it came out, yeah.
Holy.
No, because I mean, the original Terminator is an amazing movie, right? And then
T2's better.
you bring back this scary Terminator and you make him a kid's toy. Anyway, no.
Lee, wait a second.
Oh, the whole song is
Why are
great.
you hanging around this old factory?
This is my high school, Dad. You just met Mr. Brink at my parent-teacher conference?
I thought that was your foreman. No wonder he wouldn't show me his jackhammer. Well, punch out and let's go to the mall.
Punch out.
So then I watched T2 down with a double viewing of the greatest science fiction movie ever made, Fifth Element. Because I love it so
movie.
much. I
Yep,
really
good
do.
movie.
It was also the last movie I saw at the Highland Theater before it became a carpet factory. So
Oh, the Villa? Yeah. Oh.
yeah, the Villa. That's right. It was the Villa.
It's a red
Discover-
museum.
Okay, and I love that. I love the reason why he bought it was so that it wouldn't get demolished, and I think that's fantastic. So, most recent episode of Discovery, I realized that the lady playing Maul is amazing.
Yeah.
She has made a very very complex character, and I love that. Again, tried to watch American Dad. Also, Black Widow, a movie that I liked when I saw it and loved on repeat. So
See?
It's so good.
it is
good.
it is amazing. On Carrie's recommendation, I watched Everybody's in L.A. And Mulaney is working his ass off because there is nothing worse if you've done live radio than a bad interview.
Exactly.
And there
And
is
trying
a
to
bad
and trying to herd all those cats on the stage
Yep.
because they're all trying to have their moment.
and there is just a bad interview in the middle of the first episode, and I was just like,
Yeah.
wow.
When
you're
he
working
does
hard.
stand up, it's effortless, right? But when
Yeah.
he does this, I like to see him working for his dollar.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But Richard Kind as the announcer was probably the smartest move I've ever seen because
Yeah.
I want him to follow me around and just laugh at my jokes now. So
That's how I feel about Paul F. Tompkins. I just
Yeah.
want Paul F. Tompkins to laugh at everything I say.
finally started Shogun.
Oh.
And I was getting ready at the end of the second episode to get really pissed because they were starting to lean into a little white savior storyline, and I was getting mad. I was
Oh,
getting
don't
all riled
worry.
up. Guess what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
He busts in to stop something from happening, and he's woefully outmatched by everybody because they're all lifelong swordsmen. He's just an idiot from England. So
Exactly.
great. And the X-Men '97 season finale.
Hot dang.
Holy crap, you guys. I have been an advocate for years of animation being the superior medium for superhero storylines. And sorry, you can't do what they did in live action. You'd never be able to do it.
No.
You would destroy the GDP of Europe.
Yeah, the budget would
Try.
have to be just
So,
insane.
Just chef's kiss. I think we're going to try to do a little deep dive in the after party because, oh man! And then they did the classic Marvel mid-credit teaser, and
Just a little one.
Chef's kiss, but a perfect one if you read your X-Men.
Yep.
So thank you.
All right.
That's everything I consumed, which is
All
pretty much
right.
everything.
Who's next?
I'll go next. X-Men was by far the highlight of the week, maybe the highlight of the year for me so far.
Really?
X-Men 97, I think, is easily the best non-comic book adaptation of X-Men. I think Lee said that in our chat, or maybe it was Rob. But I would say it's in the top 2 or 3 of all time, including comic adaptations.
Well, because they remembered
so
that
good.
X-Men is a soap opera with superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. We started Renegade Nell. Have you guys watched this?
Yes.
It's one of my favorites.
We've only been
It's-
talking about it for.
Well, I just started it. It's
And-
quite fun. We watched the first 2 episodes and had a really good time with it.
I just want Coach Nate to fly down my throat and give me powers.
Right? That's not something you hear every day. So that one, and we watched a few more episodes of Dead Boy Detectives. That's a lot of fun.
How's that?
It's good. It's really good,
I've
actually.
been meaning to dive in, but I haven't
Yeah,
yet.
if you enjoyed the style of The Sandman, think of it like that, but much more like linear and toned down. So, but it's good. It's got humor, it's got action, it's got scares, and then this one isn't as well known, but it's animation on Netflix called Blood of Zeus, and the 2nd season started or was launched this last week or 2 weeks ago. Really cool. If you're into Greek mythology and really good animation and that kind of thing, highly recommend Blood of Zeus. It's pretty freaking neat.
Cool. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Oh, no, Rebecca had her hand up. Go ahead. You had your hand
Okay.
up first.
Friendly reminder: Challengers is now available video on demand. So please watch it and just be as obsessed with it as I am. I'm going to do something a little different, talking about some theater, some local theater. If you are in Utah, Salt Lake City, Pioneer Theater has a performance of Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. Highly recommend. Maybe it's just me. Maybe this is like extremely Rebecca coded, but it's a musical that has adapted a 70-page section of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace and turned it into a musical.
As most of you know, I think live theater should be illegal.
Thank you. Right there.
Aw, for sad.
Anyway, I'm just a theater kid at heart. So Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. And I really like Leo Tolstoy. I actually added War and Peace to my Libby Holds, a 61-hour audiobook.
How's that going to go for you?
I've been listening to a lot to longer books. I will have you know, Tony.
60 hours is like even long for me. That's super
I know.
duper long.
I'm currently listening to one that's 16 hours. I'll talk about that one next week. Anyway, books. Moving from the theater to books, I read Prince Harry's memoir Spare.
So erudite today. Look at you.
I know. So Prince Harry's memoir Spare. Wholly unrelatable.
Yeah, sure.
I feel for him as a person in certain regards, but just overall, not a relatable sentence in the book. I think I've talked about last week how he talks about watching this new show Family Guy and how he feels an inexplicable bond with this character Stewie, a prophet without honor. And the rest of the book is like that. It is just...
Because he wants to kill his mother?
He
Well,
talks a lot about how he loves his mummy. He calls her mummy a lot.
I like the
He's
chapter.
British.
I like the chapter where he talks about having Butler flogged for getting the wrong amount of truffle in his mac and cheese.
There's just a lot of stuff in this book that makes you go, "Yep, those are thoughts," and he's allowed to say them.
Must be rich.
It must be. Just imagine having.
It's not rich. There's another level above that, which is
like
these guys.
just
you know?
unlimited resources.
Yeah.
Just he asks Rihanna for a favor, right? Like just wholly unrelatable. It was kind of entertaining, but oh my god. New movie releases this week. I saw the TV Glow. Premiered at Sundance. It is about a teenager who is kind of an odd man out kind of teenager. He's introduced to a classic late night TV show. Which is a vision of a supernatural world beneath their own. And his whole reality begins to crack when his friend who has introduced him to the show goes missing. This movie, it was not for me. However, I will say I really appreciated what it was doing. This movie has really resonated a lot with a lot of like my queer friends in the queer community because it is directed by a non-binary director and writer, and it's just all about tying feeling lost in early queerness and tying it to pop culture nostalgia. So if you were really into shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Pete and Pete, that kind of late night Nickelodeon stuff, this movie will be for you. Killer soundtrack. It does have an amazing soundtrack and a performance by Phoebe Bridgers in the movie.
Oh.
Great movie. Not for me, and that's okay. But I would still like to recommend it. And then the larger release, If, written and directed by John Krasinski. Sean Means, I sat next to Sean Means in the theater when we were watching it, and he said afterwards, I could feel the anger radiating off of you because this movie is so bad. There's nary a plot to be found. So essentially, you know how Pixar movies are like, what if your clothes had feelings? This is like, what if your imaginary friends had feelings? And John Krasinski cashed in all of his favors with his friends to get them in a voice booth for 15 minutes to be in this movie. And there's not a plot. It goes on for way too long. Kids in the theater were bored. It's a movie, he says, specifically made for girl dads. And if you look at the marketing for this movie, a lot of it is focused on the behind the scenes stuff, which is kind of telling because not much happens in the movie itself. And so how do you put that in a trailer and try to lure people in? So I gave 2 out of 5. It's
I can't believe that nobody looked at his script and said, this is Foster's Home for Imaginary Pets.
But Foster's
John-
Home for Imaginary Friends is so much better.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean. Like, I can't believe no one said, John, you know this is just Foster's, right? You even name the character the same. You shouldn't do this.
yeah, so just watch Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Way better. I just, you know what? I wish I was rich and had famous friends and could make a movie too, but here we are.
You have
That's all.
semi-famous friends.
We'll make a movie with you.
Wow.
I hope
want to follow
I
that
just
up now.
hope
She
it has a
said
plot.
no.
Yeah, if you guys just want to
That
Follow
long
that
pause was
Yeah,
lovely.
I won't-
yeah.
I
I'm
won't
just
do
gonna
nude
forget that
scenes.
I saw anything this week. Yeah, I'm out. No, I'm done. I'm not following that.
go to the theater, you guys.
But it's your turn, Mr. Neal.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. All right. Thanks, Rebecca. I love you.
Sorry.
X-Men 97. There are so many things I could say about it that I'm going to save for the after party because I've got a lot of thoughts on it. My oldest daughter wanted to rewatch My Adventures with Superman with the second season coming up soon.
Yes.
So we've been going through that,
I'm so
and it has
excited.
been delightful again.
Great show.
It is my second favorite animated take on Superman because I still think that the animated series that Warner Brothers did after the Batman series
Yeah.
was top
the old-
notch.
so
But
good.
this is
Tim
this is
style.
a great take.
Bruce Tim,
Yep.
yeah.
Discovery. I will say one word: Badlands, which made me giddy last week when they referenced it. I'm just like, oh, we're going to see
Then
them
seeing-
again.
But seeing them in it.
Yes. And I'm just like, oh, they're going to get. No, they're not, because that was a different show. Oh well, but it was still fun, and I enjoyed the episode.
And I guess that library is a real place somewhere up in Seattle, I want to say.
Oh,
You'd have to look it up. I skimmed by it today.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that made me. That episode was a good one, and I enjoyed the introspection that we got in it. And I'll leave it there. And Lee was right. Shoot, I just forgot her name. The actress who plays Mal, fantastic. I kind of wrote her off as kind of one note early on, just kind of like, oh, she really
thought-
wants just to be free and to live her own life. But
I
watching,
thought she was just riffing Pris from Blade Runner, Daryl Hannah's character, and I love being
and she's
wrong.
not. Yeah,
No.
and it's been interesting watching her maneuvering.
Yes.
So there's that. Speaking of Star Trek,
Oh, okay.
this week's issue of Star Trek with Cisco and crew has been good. They introduce a character from Picard in here that I was
Ah.
not expecting to see, who has a link with Cisco in a very unusual way.
Is it Picard?
It is not. It is Captain Shaw.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, now you're interested. Okay.
Listen, I'm interested. Period.
Suicide Squad Dream Team. It's the ascension of Amanda Waller leading up to DC's summer event, Absolute Power, where she basically is like, I am the law. And I liked Amanda Waller when they brought her in the late 80s as a member of Checkmate. She's wearing thin on me now.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no. That's too bad.
Action Comics 1065, continuing the story of the House of Brainiac, with Superman and Lobo taking on an army of other Zarnians, and Superboy and Supergirl at action figure size taking on Brainiac and Brainiac and Brainiac and Brainiac.
Nice.
But we also get to see a character that I've not seen in books for, wow, it has to be a few years, Vrildox, who is the son of Brainiac and the leader of Legion, the Green Lantern parallel police force of non-lantern people. But speaking of lanterns, Green Lantern number 11? Yes, 11. I can count. Empire of Blood, where we basically find out there is something seriously wrong with the United Planets, and something is rotten in Denmark. There we go.
All right.
So there was that. Book, One Word Kill. Young boy discovers he has leukemia and then meets his future self. Shenanigans ensue.
Okay.
And for the first time I saw a Jackie Chan movie that I'm definitely 20 years too late for, Super Cop.
oh, sweetie.
But I love Jackie Chan's action and his martial arts chops, but we were mostly watching it because Michelle Yeoh is in this movie.
Yep.
And we are going through a series of movies with her in it. And, with her, great. But I'm sitting there going, yeah, I missed this when it came out. It would have been spot on then. This was still fun, but not quite what I was expecting.
I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, so did we.
Oh, I saw it with you.
Oh, that's right. At the tower.
So you
Guys.
do know the Michelle Yeoh landing on the train story.
She did
Rob?
that.
No.
The stuntman that did it screwed up and got messed up bad, and they're like, okay, well, we'll need to get another stuntman trained, and she just went and did it,
She just did it.
and she almost missed the train, and they're just like, okay, don't ever do that again. But that was amazing. So yeah, that was her
Okay.
on the on the
Well, that's
bike.
awesome.
She is a gem, a true gem.
Yeah.
All right. So, Madam Web.
So I was gonna watch this last night too, Carrie, and then I decided I want to watch something good. So we watched Renegade Nell.
It's so worth a watch. It's so
No, it's not.
worth at least one watch.
I mean,
to
it's,
acknowledge
you know,
how bad it is.
Yeah, it's not going to cost me any more money, so
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
I'll finish it. I didn't finish it last night
If
because
there's
I
one
was
thing I learned from almost dying, it's that life is too short
Yeah.
for shitty movies.
well, I was starting to get physically ill. I don't know whether it was the movie or the chicken leg, but
Why not both?
Yeah, both.
could be both. So I paused it as they are getting on the subway car. But up to this point, here's what I have to say about the whole thing. Terrible script, terrible dialogue. The dialogue is so bad. Everybody just seems to be walking through it. The cinematography could be tighter. If you're trying to convey action, a wide shot maybe not be the way to go. Sydney Sweeney is good when she's on screen, but she's so far not so much.
I'm not allowed to comment anymore.
Dakota Johnson, just walking through this thing. Not even trying. Can't even express love for a kitty cat.
Ooh,
Wow.
how can
Doesn't
you
even
not?
know how to operate a soda can.
Can't operate a soda can. I mean, she's that.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
there's
butlers are for.
multiple scenes. There are multiple scenes where she has a Mountain Dew Code Red, because don't forget this is set in the early 2000s, and the and
I
then
guess
she's
I
later
gotta
at a
watch this
barbecue.
today.
She's later at a barbecue holding a can like
A black Pepsi can. Yeah. So yeah,
Carrie. I knew you wouldn't finish this movie.
I'm going to finish it. I swear I'm going to finish it. So I got very excited when the 3 spider women showed up and they started kicking ass. And then 60 seconds later they were gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Do you want a spoiler alert,
I'm
Carrie?
like, I want more of these people. I want more of these,
Can I give you a spoiler alert?
Sure.
That's all you get, brother.
That's it. You took the best part of the movie, stuck it in 20 minutes in, and then not bringing that back? No callback for
I
that?
knew it was terrible all along.
What movie is that from?
This is the end of Madam Web
Oh,
when
is
she
it
has her
really?
psychic powers.
Yeah.
Did it come with
Yes.
glasses? Is that part of the
These
package?
sick ass Oakleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now look at the comic book, because Madam Web has got the
She's got goggles. Yeah.
she's got the goggles. Yeah, I am going to finish it. It'll be small bites over the over the next week and a half probably. But so far,
And you noticed how the man ADR doesn't even match his mouth movements at all. There
close.
is one shot where a boom mic makes an appearance.
Oh,
How would you guys
wonderful.
not want to watch this movie? It's so bad.
I respect
That's why.
myself.
but like I said, I haven't finished it, but I'm just here to tell you, Sony, give back the spider characters to Marvel. You have, besides those cartoons, you ain't done shit. It's
The game.
And the game.
The game,
Well,
which
so
I
all
gotta
Sony did was
say-
fun to that. That was Insomniac Studios. that
But
did
I
the great
gotta
job with
say,
that.
bad move on Sony's part to get rid of the Silk Spider Society show, especially if you played Spider-Man 2 game.
Yep, because they're all through it apparently. All right, Tony. Speaking of games, do you have games, Tony?
Yeah, I do. Right here.
Once again, Tony totally caught off guard by the end of the show.
Now,
Surprise!
I do have to say, if watching shitty movies is your thing, watching shitty movies is great, Rebecca. I think that's wonderful that you have such a plethora of things to enjoy yourself with. So
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
I don't
Which is why-
have time
That's why I love Mystery Science Theater.
because they can make your
Oh,
shitty movie better.
R.I.P. Roger Corman, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I watched his Fantastic Four.
it was bad.
It was really bad.
Thank you for taking that hit for us.
Yeah.
All right. So actually, a fair amount of things of note coming out this week.
Oh, I played Little Kitty Big City.
How did you like it?
Oh, I was the little kitty in the big city.
So it was great. 10 out of 10.
I had a great
Rebecca
time.
Frost.
5 out of 5.
Coming out finally on the consoles is the System Shock remake that came out for PC last year sometime. That's a classic, one of the first-person RPG, like immersive sim games ever to come out, and they remade it. Night Dive Studios remade it for the modern systems, and they did a fantastic job. So if you haven't played that on PC yet, grab it for the the Xbox or the PlayStations. Also coming out this week. We got a lot of weird kind of games, indie games I've never heard of, like things like Duck Detective: The Secret Salami.
Okay.
Yep, that's a real game coming out this week. Song of Silence, World of Goo 2 for the Switch,
That's me in the
and
hospital.
then this, aka Lee in the hospital. Now this one is a big one. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake for Switch. That was originally a GameCube game, and they have remade it for the Switch. And if you're a fan of that Paper Mario RPG, then this is right up your alley. The big one coming out this week, though, is finally Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 on the Xbox and PC. If you played the first Senua Saga, then you'll be excited for this one. And if not, you should still probably take a peek at this one. It's one of those games where they focus a little more on story, but they they still have some fighting and stuff in there as well. but the sound design and the visuals and the art direction and everything, it takes place in, ancient Viking times, and it's just the visual aspect of it and the sound aspect of it is just mind-bogglingly crazy. Play with headphones because they do a really, really good job with the location-based sound if you're using headphones.
Which game was
So-
this again?
Senua's Saga 2. Where'd it go? There's a specific Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. There we go. So play the first one first, though. And they're short games. They're like 5, 6, 8 hours, something like that. The first one's fantastic as well. So sequel out this week.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, let's shut this down and head over to the after party. You can join us there if you join our Patreon. It's tree fitty. Come on. And we'll keep talking like this just for our Patreons. GeekShowGotThisCovered.com is the link to our Patreon. So you can come and watch us do the after party. We'll be there in a few minutes. Thank you all for being here on this nice weathered day.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
That too.
Our geeks are afraid of the sun. So thank you. Live long and prosper, bitches.